Alright guys, welcome back to the final part of this walkthrough. So here I just skipped ahead. I'm at the bottom of the cave because this is kind of where we left off before I went and fought Emerald and Ruby, so I'm just kind of I just figured this would be the best place to start. I am pretty sure that I forgot to show you how to get some of the enemy skills. So if there's any enemy skill that you're missing, you can just send me a message. I will write you back. I can tell you how to get it. But just so you know, at this point, any enemy skill that you're missing that I haven't shown you how to get, you can still get. I definitely made sure to show you guys everything that you had to get at a certain point in order to obtain all of the items in the game. So, for example, around this point, there were some items that I was missing. I just went on Google, I found a complete item list, and then I just started going through what I had and what I didn't have, and then found out how to get whatever item I was missing. So you guys can do the same. But yeah, if you followed everything that I did, you should be able to get every item in the game. You probably won't have every item in the game at this point because there's some simple things you need to buy or whatever. But so yeah, if there's any questions, if something you're missing, just send me a message. I will get you the information you need to get that item. Now here I'm showing you this battle against the Master Tonberry because I wanted to show you what you get if you morph him. I think the best way to do this is probably with 4 times cut. I think you can do like 9,999 damage for all 4 attacks and he's still alive. It's pretty close though. He has right around 45,000 HP. And I didn't want to risk it, so I didn't do it, which is why this battle is taking as long as it is. But eventually, when I do morph him, I'm going to get the ribbon, which, you know, we know by now how good the ribbon is. You should only have 2 at this point, because there's only 2 you can get just throughout the game. You can get one at the Temple of the Ancients, and you can get one in the Icicle, that ice cave or whatever. And those are the only 2 that you can find, but you can morph a Master Tonberry into a ribbon, therefore giving you the ability to have your entire party with a ribbon, which is nice. So there we just got the ribbon. And basically all this part is going to have is the final part of the cave, the point of no return. So, if you remember a few parts back, I showed you how to get the Pandora's Box enemy skill. I told you that the enemy that casts it only casts it once ever and then will never cast it again. That is true to a point. When I'm down here, once you get past the point of no return, there is a part where you will fight one of those, I think it's a white zombie is what it's called or something. Anyway, he can cast Pandora's Box, but you're at the point of no return. So even if you do learn the enemy skill, the game's going to be over soon. So there's no point really in learning it then. So he technically will cast, that's the only other time he'll cast Pandora's Box, is once you've reached the point where you can't go back and you fight him, then he may cast it again. But, you know, you're not going to be able to save with your enemy skills having Pandora's Box if that's the route that you were trying to go down. So I think that shows up on this video here, so that's why I wanted to bring that up. Alright, now here you're going to break up into 3 different parties. So you're going to take whoever you want to go with Cloud, and that's what you're going to start out with. You're going to have a boss battle coming up here with just this party. And then after that, you're going to use this party and 2 other parties to take on Sephiroth. So you don't want to take necessarily your 3 strongest people here and put them in one party, because you will need the other characters to form 2 other parties. So you kind of want to split up maybe your stronger people. This part here kind of reminds me of when we were on that train and we were trying to stop the train from crashing into North Coral, because every single rock that we land on, we have a battle. And if you remember that guy that we just fought there, there was a smaller red version of him when we were on the train. So here's that guy I was telling you about, and yes, this is one battle where he can cast Pandora's box again. So if you see him cast it, don't freak out and say, well, you only said that he was only going to cast it once. This is the other time he can cast it, but you cannot go back at this point. So, and yeah, we didn't even give him a chance to do much. Now, since there's no real point in leveling up materia anymore, I'm going to put on everyone's ultimate weapon. Once you get to the bottom here, you will have your first of 4 boss fights. This is Genova, Synthesis. This is the final form of Genova. This battle is so easy. In this one, I actually tried to make it more difficult on myself. I wasn't using anything but attacks. It has 3 parts, the 2 tentacles and then the core. And as you can see, I've already killed the tentacles, and all that's left is the core, and it's already dead. So, 1 Knights of the Round will kill Genova. I think any one of the other stronger summons will kill the tentacles. So, yeah, it's a very simple fight, and to be totally honest, I don't even know if you noticed there was a countdown. At the end of the countdown, she does cast some big attack, I believe, but it has been so long since I've ever let her get that far, I have no idea what it is. So, yeah, I'd never let the battle get very far. Now that one's over. We're gonna have a cutscene here, but you're going to break your other party up into 2 other groups. So you're gonna have 3 total parties. 1 party will only have 2 characters. That group, I would suggest having one of your stronger players in, since you're only gonna have 2 people. But basically, you're going to fight a form of Sephiroth. It's called Safer Sephiroth. And there's lots of different parts to him, and you have to work together as a team to take out the parts kind of in a certain order, because if you go for certain parts right away, it'll be 0 damage. So you have to kill off certain parts in order to get to the core. He can also revive some of his parts. So it actually took me longer than it should have on this run, because I couldn't figure out exactly what parts I was supposed to be going for at the time. So you can learn from my mistakes here, and you can probably make this battle a lot faster. I also didn't use I didn't use Knights of the Round. I didn't use any major attack moves, summons, stuff like that. I basically just used, I think I used my normal attack the entire time, so to make it a little more difficult. But if you want to speed up the process, I would just cast Knights of the Round. So here's your first group, and then you get the chance to equip them with whatever, and then I believe it goes to the next group. Yeah. So now you pick your second party. And actually, now that I think about it, I don't think you have to have 3 people in this party. If you want your second group to only have 2, and your third group with 3, you can do that too. my goal here was to try and distribute things evenly so that I could heal with every party, I could do something other than a basic attack just in case with every party, and then you do get a final, is this what are you satisfied with your parties and stuff, so that's nice. In case you mess up, you can go back. So your group is spread out here. Cloud is in the middle. You have your second group to the left. They're going to take on, you can't see them, but they're to the left of you. And then your third party is to the right of you. Kind of, if you can see to the right, there's that ledge up there. Even though you can't see them, that's where they are at. Now if you saw Vincent just attacked the middle, that yellow thing, the core, it was 0 damage. You can't do any damage there until other parts are dead. Then after you've done a certain amount of damage, it'll ask you if you're worried about your party. If you say no, not really, you can continue fighting with that group. If you say yeah, a little, then it will shift over to your next party, which is what I did. And so now I'm controlling my second party. So there we just killed the head. And the right side, let's see right there, he can revive parts of his body, so just be aware of that. So now I decided to switch over to my third party. And once the left side was dead, I switched back to my party. And it skipped Cloud's group and then went back to my second group here. To make this fight faster, ultimately what I would do is just stick with one party and kill as much as you can. The way to know that for sure too is by using like an enemy skill that's an all, or a magic spell, or a summon. That way you know everything that you can possibly kill on one side is dead, then move on to the next one. So I think what I kept doing here was once I killed certain parts and I should have moved over to the next group, I didn't, and that's why this ended up taking as long as it did. Alright, so we beat Sephiroth, right? Well, kind of. We beat the first form of Sephiroth, that's our second boss fight. We still have 2 more to go. And here comes probably the most famous music in any Final Fantasy game, the Sephiroth song. And I think I said the last Sephiroth was Safer Sephiroth. That was Bizarro Sephiroth. This is Safer Sephiroth, the one-winged angel. He's not too hard, and I mean, I think if you cast one Knights of the Round, I believe he dies. He does have some fairly strong attacks though if you let him live. He has the Shadow Flare, and he also has his very own summon, which he is going to cast on me in this fight, so you will get to see it. It had actually been years since I've seen it, so it was kind of cool to watch it again. And here is his own summon, Supernova. This is the only time you'll see this attack. He is the only one that can do it. It's kind of funny seeing this meteor go through Pluto now that it's not even a planet. kind of a funny attack when you think about it. He's using the sun to essentially blow up right in front of the Earth. You'd think that that would destroy the Earth in itself instead of going through all the trouble of casting a meteor, but anyway, it is fairly strong, so be careful of that. Make sure your HP is above 4,000 or so. That finished him off. So yay, Sephiroth's dead. Okay, so maybe I lied a little bit. Sephiroth is still alive. This is the final boss fight. The final fight, period, that you will have in this game. And it is also the easiest fight in this game, because you can't die. The nice thing, too, is that if you did not get Omni Slash to this point, you automatically have it. If your limit break was not full, it will automatically get full. So it's kind of more or less just a setup to finish the game, but you actually see the real Sephiroth. And when I say you can't die, I have waited to see if he would actually attack ever. He does, but once you get close to dying, you will automatically do Omni Slash yourself. And, yeah, he's done. So that is it. That concludes the walkthrough. All that is left is to enjoy the cinematics. Be sure to watch all the way through the credits because there is a bonus ending at the end. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys got everything you wanted. I appreciate you guys checking out my walkthrough. Please give it a like if you used this, if it helped you out. I want as many people as I can to see this just because I love this game and I want people to get the most out of it. So once again, if you have any questions, something that you're missing, just send me a comment or a message. I will write you back. And I think that's it. I'm out.